All right, hello Knuckleheads. So tonight, over the weekend, I was at a famous fast food restaurant. We don't need to name names, but they have a particular spicy chicken out right now. I was less than impressed. Right, I'll give them this. They got the spice pretty good, but bland bun, limp lettuce, tiny, very dry chicken. So I thought, let's make one of our own. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to make our own spicy chicken sandwich. So, in a bowl, we are going to start with 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm using Lactancia. It's got the blue cow on it. All right. Into a bowl. 1 tablespoon of lime juice. We can't get limes in Canada, guys, so the stuff I'm using comes from Italy. If you've got fresh, 1 tablespoon of lime juice would be equivalent of about 1 regular sized lime. A teaspoon of black pepper. Teaspoon of salt. We're going to use the Morva salt. Cornish salt, sea salt, Canadian company. 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika. Now, you can use whatever you want for the next one. Cayenne pepper would be great, but for me, I'm going to kick up the heat, and I'm going to use some of Troy's Hot Sauce Experience ashes. And we are using a 1/2 teaspoon. We need a teaspoon of garlic powder. And a teaspoon of onion powder. All right, now we're going to take ourselves a whisk. And blend all that together. All right, and we're going to take our chicken. This marinade will do up to 4 chicken breasts fairly handily. Okay, I'm only going to do 2. I'm going to pierce them. You can do the same thing with a knife or a fork. Just punch the holes in it so that the chicken gets the marinade in better. Okay, and then we're going to take our handy dandy big Ziploc bag. In go the chicken breasts. In goes the marinade. Seal that up. Push it around a little bit, and that's going to go in the fridge overnight. All right, hey there, Knuckleheads. Let's start out. So we've got our chicken. It has been marinating for 24 hours. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put down our spice. So this is 2/3 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of basil, 1/3 of a teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of celery salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of dried mustard, 4 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 3 teaspoons of white pepper. Okay, I'm going to put this into a bowl. And then to that, we're going to add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And I am using the Arva all-purpose flour. Arva is from just north of London. Okay, and we're going to put just a little bit of this at a time down. All right, you can always save the rest if you want. Take the breast, pull it out, let it drain just a little bit here. And then we're going to press it into our flour. What we're actually going to do is we're going to take some of the marinade and we're going to use that as our wash. Then we're going to dip it in our wash. Okay. We're going to go both sides on that. What we're going to do is we're going to take just cornmeal and panko, and we are going to, that'll be our final breading, but we're going to add something to it. Okay. I'm going to take some of the Troy's ashes. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit in there as well. And this is Troy's smoky chipotle. I'm going to do about a teaspoon. Okay, not a lot. All right, and then we're going to take our washed chicken. We're going to put it in the panko. Press her down. So there's no secret to the panko and cornmeal, guys. I don't have a special ratio or anything like that. It's just whatever it's going to take to bread it. But I'd say start with a half a cup of each. And then, like I said, I'm adding the Troy's ashes in there as well for a little extra heat. Let's do a temp check on our oil. We want her somewhere between 350 and 375. And then we're just going to take our chicken breasts and we're going to gently lay them in the oil. Don't drop them. They'll end up sticking to the bottom. And then the first thing I always do is I grab my strainer and I move them just a little bit. So I'm sure that they're not sticking to the bottom. And we're going to cook them for about 3 minutes per side. I'm actually going to set a timer on that. And while we're doing that, let's cut up some fresh tomato. All right, guys, my timer's about to go off. So what we're going to do is just going to take them out. We're going to put them on our drain tray. All right, and while they're draining, let's prep our sandwich. So no secret to the buns, although little secret of mine. I cooked up the bacon that I'm going to be using on my flat top. Then I just scraped it, but I didn't wipe it. And then I toasted the buns in the bacon grease for a little extra flavor. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our homemade mayo. A little of that on the bun. So now I put the mayo on the top of the bun. I'm going to put some cheese on the bottom. This is why I'm grabbing my glasses. This is a whole lot of heat. Triple X hot cheddar cheese. It's Mapledale Cheese Company, and they are out of Plainfield, Ontario. It's hot. I tried it earlier. It's got a kick to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give one of them the cheese. I'm going to give the other one, I'm just going to do it plain because I want to test this out. I want to give it a fair chance. And then I'm going to top that with tomato, some bacon, because bacon makes everything better. This bacon is Metzger's. Okay, it's local to my area. We're going to hit that with some lettuce. By the way, guys, the chicken came from Prospector Frozen Foods. They are in London. They are in the Gibraltar market. If you're ever looking for bulk frozen foods, but you're either you don't have a membership to that big C, or you're opting not to support them at the moment for obvious reasons. These guys are awesome. Okay, and I think that's my toppings. And I'm just going to test the one that I dressed very, very lightly. Like I said, I want to give the heat in this a fighting chance. This is the one with just enough on it to make it still flavorful, but without heat. That's got some good kick to it. Let's try the one with the insanely hot cheddar on it. Ooh. Yeah, you can taste the peppers and the cheese immediately. I love it. For you chili heads out there, you'll love it too. But yeah, it's hot. There's a lot of temp to that. Okay, guys, that's it for me. If you'll notice I didn't apron up today. I think the message speaks for itself. Have a great night. I love you all. Be good to each other.